Hey guys, so today I'll be talking about the Tramontina Machete. It's something that's quite common, available in most hardware stores because it's really cheap. Something like this is a 20-inch blade, and this would go for, at least in Malaysia, about 30 odd ringgit to 40 ringgit, so that's like $10 US. So you can't really beat price in that sense, but then again, you get what you pay for. So the Tramontina Machete is just stamped steel. It's a constant all the way, and they just grind an edge onto it, slap a handle onto it, rivet it in, and that's it. So for what it is, it's a slasher, and it's good for clearing and brush and all that. It's good in that sense, but I don't think there's any heat treat on the edge. It just holds an edge as well as any old carbon steel will. And typically, they have a bolo version with the elevated spine here, but this is just a normal one. And typically it's ground all the way until basically your handle. So it is very front heavy because it's a slasher, but not too bad, and they managed to keep it quite thin. This thickness is just over a millimeter thick. I think it's just about there. And it's carbon steel, so it rusts. So if you can see a bit of a yellow patina there, I've actually lacquered it. I've put some clear coat on it just to keep it in, and the lacquer actually reacted with the steel and gave it that straw color. Anyway, the Tramontina comes in very crude off the shelf. So the edge is nowhere near good. You'll have to put an edge on it properly by yourself with a stone or whatever other sharpening tool you use. And the handle, if you could see here, let's put it up this way. Can you see the gap here? So the metal is not in line with the edge of the wood. And when you get it, at least the one that I got, the metal was not in line with the edge of the wood. So when you grip it here, the ridge of the wood would bite into your hand. So some people wrap cordage around here. I took the trouble to actually sand it down and reprofile it, the whole thing. Took a bit of material out at the bottom and all that. So now it's really comfortable. And this is how the spine should be actually. They should take it to a belt sander after they mount the wooden scales on it. This is a slotted, it's not even a scale. So yeah. After that, I soaked it in linseed oil as much as I could, and it's well preserved now. The wood handle is actually quite comfortable now. So the other modification that I did was, if you can see the notch up here, right down here all the way, I actually took off the cutting edge so that I can hold it like a Malaysian parang in a sense, the chandong and all that. I can actually choke up on blade and do a little bit of fine work. So this notch actually is there not just as a visual marker, but for a thumb, a marker that I can feel just with my hand without thinking too much. So as long as my thumb sits there, I know my hands will be on the blunt side, and that allows me to perform a little bit of shaving and fine work and whittling if I need to, because if you hold it in the handle and try to do that, there's just too much blade in front of it, so you will not be able to do much fine work. So holding up here, that's about 6 inches up. They're about 6 inches up from the end of the handle. And you hold it here, the balance is more or less good now, and you'd be able to perform some fine work with your knife. So I typically keep this part sharper with a finer edge, and over here is where I do the heavy work with the knife. The tip is not sharpened. It comes not sharpened, and I never really sharpened it because if you're slashing something, once you start hitting here, you're sliding off already, and there's going to be no cutting action here. So keeping this sharpened is, from a work perspective, it's not practical, or rather it's unnecessary. So my sharpening kind of ends somewhere here. It's really sharp here and it kind of tapers off here. And this is how the factory sends it to you as well. So overall, if you're just looking for a budget slasher and you don't want to put out too much money, I guess the Tramontina is okay. I still like the Malaysian parang better. It's more functional, and even the long parang is the long Malaysian parang is better than this if you can get your hands on it. But if you don't have access to that wherever you are, or if all you want to just pick up something quick from the store, this will do the job. It's just that bear in mind that you'll have to, the handle will be able to bite into your hand a little bit unless you wear gloves or you wrap it up with cordage or you file it on like I did. The handle has never come loose. The rivets are really secure on this. They use aluminium rivets. This machete is probably, I would say, from about 2008. So that's 14 years, thereabouts. And it's been relatively heavily used, especially in the first maybe 10 years of its life. I lived in a place with a lot of underbrush and growth and all that, and I properly used it. So it serves well, so don't worry about the durability of it. The Tramontina will serve you. It's just whether you like the ergonomics, the weight, and of course the feel of it. I mean, a lot of tools that we use is not just how functional it is, it's how it makes you feel, right? So I personally have a preference for the Malaysian parang. Well, I'm Malaysian, I'm from Malaysia, and that's the tool of our people. So, but the Tramontina was what I had at that point in time, and that's what I could get my hands on, so that's what I got. And subsequently I've got another parang and all that stuff. But yeah, so that's my take on the Tramontina. You can see all the blades have this stamped into it, Tramontina Brazil. So it's still made in Brazil. Steel, I can't say where it's from, but yeah, at least the knife is made in Brazil, the machete is made in Brazil. There are shorter blades. This is a 20, they come up with a 16, I think they even have a 14, a much shorter one. So take your pick what you need, and just remember the weight balance in this, it is always forward heavy the way it's built, because there's nothing much at the back here. And so that will factor into how tired your wrist gets when you're slashing. But if you need to do slash clearing, you need a long blade. If you're doing maybe just cutting through some branches and all that, get the shorter blade, 16 or even the 14 inch. 14 inch is good enough for just clearing branches and maybe thumb thickness. What should I say? Undergrowth? Yep. So I hope you found this interesting. Do let me know if you have experience with the Tramontina. I'm sure a lot of people have. It's a common tool, readily available, economical, and for the most part, it's very durable and very well made. So, yep, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Tramontina.